Greetings. This is Skyler Saunders saying, what's current? All right. In this saga that's been going on with G Money Lil Ronnie, the deceased rapper, along with his 5-year-old child, his daughter, it has come to a more clear understanding. The police officers, the law enforcement had apprehended one of the assailants. His name is Jakobie Russell, and they are looking for another suspect in the case. His name, I should say, alleged assailant. Another alleged assailant was Adonis Robinson. He's 24 years old. Was detained in Livingston, Texas. As for Russell, he's 21 years old. So these are young men of color. Looking at a long sentence. They're getting off. I mean, they shot a man and his daughter, in broad daylight. That is just ridiculous. That's just insane. So they may not see the light of day. They might get life sentences for their role in his slaying. Yes, Andretti, you're exactly right. That was an unfortunate situation. You're exactly right. I think with Lil Ronnie, it just seems like he had everything going for him. I listened to one track. I didn't listen to his whole discography, but I just heard one track. I was like, this guy's pretty gifted. He's got flow. He's got multiple pieces of vocabulary. He's got different flows. He's got it together, and then pop, and he's gone. Like, it's sad, and his daughter's gone, so they have to do a dual funeral, I would imagine. Unless they went the cremation route, which I doubt they did. But yeah, so Andretti is saying that was an unfortunate situation, and that's exactly right. It's very unfortunate. But this is a break in the case. He actually turned himself in. He turned himself into the police. Russell. I can't keep their names in my head. I don't know why. His name is Adonis Robinson. Robinson turned himself into the police. Russell was apprehended. So this all happened in Fort Worth, Texas. But this is my thing. This is like, what is this whole idea of the lifestyle, and then it has to match the lyrics, and it has to match what could actually go on in the street, and in the same token, why are these young men of color so emotional? It's all emotions. They're supposed to be stand-up guys, supposed to be men, supposed to be strong, and supposed to be tough. Your mind, you got a tough mind. And it's like, well, he did something against me. Now I got to kill him and his daughter. Like, what kind of man does that? What kind of man says that? That's a child. That's worse than a child. That's like a little, that's an animal. That's not. You're not even a human being after that point. You're gonna take somebody's life and his daughter's life? Are you kidding me? And then turn yourself in. That's what Robinson did. Adonis Robinson turned himself into the police. Glad he did that. At least he could recognize justice. He could recognize, damn, I ruined somebody's entire life and his child's life. My life is gonna be ruined, but at least I'm gonna have this. Yeah, well, I kind of disagree with you on that, Andrew. I think I'm a little bit hopeful. I have a little bit of hope for the Generation Z and the alphas and the betas. I think they have a sense of turning things around if they get their minds right. If they have rationality and independence and justice on their side, then they won't be lost. But you're on the right track now. I think it's close to that. But that's what they say about every generation. They say, oh, the baby boomers, they're gonna mess up the world. Oh, Generation X, they're gonna mess up the world. Millennials, they're gonna be terrible. They're gonna be a lost generation. They say the same thing about every generation. So it's nothing new. That's usually the same case that's been spouted for decades now. But it's at least a breath of fresh air. It's just a breath of fresh air. They can inhale and exhale. Okay, we got them. We got them both. I don't think there may have been more people involved. I doubt it. I think it was just the two of them. So far, it was just two alleged assailants. Russell and Robinson. It looks like to me that it's just like quick on the draw, like shoot from the waist, shoot at all. Like it's crazy. It's not about the guns. It's nothing about the guns. It's not about the guns. It's about the mentality. It's the mind behind the gun. That's what it is. That's the idealism. It's the mind behind the gun. It's not the user. It's not the tool. It's the user that has to be blamed. You can't blame, oh, we need to take the guns away. We need to take all the guns off the streets. No, keep the guns in the streets for protection and self-defense, not to kill any other people. Andretti says, the baby boomers had it good. They got houses for $10,000 now worth millions. That's true. That is true. I think my grandparents' house was like what? Like seriously, like $6,000 or something like that. I think my aunt flipped it probably for like at least 80,000 to 100. That's what it is. I don't know. I don't know the details. But I'm just imagining that's how much they flip it. And then if you take the different areas around Newark, Delaware, where my home city, my home state, there's properties that were bought up by the University of Delaware that will probably be worth millions of dollars, but people sold out, for like maybe 90,000 to 200,000, something like that. But the university, snapped them up, and I'm for the university. That's more, land for the university to do more research and more projects. Andretti says, need to change their minds and be more careful and mindful with them guns. Facts. That's true. I agree with that. Andretti. And that's what Andretti says. So I agree with that. I think, you have to have your mind right. You should be able to carry a gun. You should be able to handle it. You should be able to clean it. You should be able to know what to do with it. Not murder people. That's like number one. That's like on the number one list. Like, I remember George Carlin had, he said, he had a joke. I know this is pretty serious, but I try to give a little bit of levity. He said, next time you go to a gun shop, buy a gun and then ask, hey, you got any ski masks? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Jody. I kind of disagree with that too. Like, what happened to speaking? What happened to just talking, not even fighting? Talk about it. Be grown-ups. Be, if you have to write it down, even write it and put it in like a document, and hand it over to that person, and they read their document, and you do something like that. You don't have to fight. Or just talk it out in the street, like one-on-one. Just talk it out. That's the best way to combat any animosity that somebody might harbor. That to me, I think is. I see where you're going. You're thinking like the Friday situation. You're thinking like John Witherspoon, the late great John Witherspoon, when he said, "These hands." You got to use your hands. Like he was telling that to Ice Cube's character. Craig. He was telling that to Craig when he knocked out Debo. Sometimes there are points where you do have to fight. If somebody's going to fight you, then you have to be on the defensive. You have to fight them. Then I do agree with that. There should be fighting. If somebody's about to pummel you, you go ahead and you fight back against them. That is I do agree with. I agree with that side of fighting. If somebody's going to hit you, you hit them back twice as hard. I agree with that. But yeah, Lil G, what is it? Is it Lil G? G Money Lil Ronnie, excuse me. G Money Lil Ronnie had it all. He had a video that I was watching. Looked like he had a lot of niggas in the back. All these niggas, around him. They're dancing and everything like that. Then he got the woman in the tub. I was like, okay, he's got a chick in the tub. All right, finally, a female in the video. And then he got a chick dancing in front of him while he's got the lean and he's got a spliff and he's smoking a spliff and he's drinking the lean and she's dancing. She's popping her booty and everything like that. I'm like, okay. I see that because I'm tired of those videos. It's just like 30 niggas in the background. One nigga is rapping into the camera, and then it's like just random niggas holding up money and got the money phones, and then they got the stacks of money they throwing around all over the kitchen sink and everything like that. It's like I'm so tired of that. At least have some females in the if you're going to be that non-creative. Like I love ASAP Rocky's videos. I love Tyler the Creator's videos. They actually have a concept. They have to have a mind frame. I agree with that, but I digress. I know he's no longer here to even do any of that. I'm just saying for the up and comers, because that's what happens. One rapper dies, 10 rappers pop up. That's how it goes. Like 2 rappers die, 24 rappers pop up. You know, they that's what happens. It's a weird situation that occurs, but that's the reality of it. But at least there's a breath of fresh air. There's a chance for the family of G Money, Lil Ronnie to actually breathe, to exhale, to say at least we got him. At least we have this in under our we have this weight lifted off of us. At least we can never get G Money, Lil Ronnie or his daughter back. But Andretti says, and won't none of those guys ride for you when you're gone? Facts. That's what they were talking about. That's what Biggie was talking about. He was part of, like, we always say Prophet Pac, but Biggie was kind of was a prophet too, but he was on the other side. He was like saying, I bet you Biggie won't slip. Okay, but well, slow down. I mean, he was saying, it's the ones that you play dice with, you go into the barbershop. I mean, not them, but then he said, but the one they want to stick you with the what does it say with the ice pick through and night with your I'm babbling crazy with your windpipe slow. So that's what it's like. They say he was more so a gambler than a rapper. Okay, what do you mean like a gambler? What do you mean? And Andretti saying that they say he was more a gambler than a rapper. What was he like on FanDuel? What are you talking about? Like MGM and all those kind of. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're saying, Andretti? And who is they? Who's they? Who is they say? Who is they? Shooting dice with his hood friends. Oh, okay. All right. I was trying to give him some, back in the 21st century style stuff, but he was just, shooting craps. He had the World Series of dice going on in the alleyway, picking up scraps of money. Okay, understood. But yeah. So, but he didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve to be gunned down in the street like a dog. That's facts. The streets. Got you. The streets saying they equals the streets. It makes sense. Got you, Andrew. Salute. Okay, so it's just a shame, really. It's really sad, but like I said, this is like an exhale moment for the family. They're able to look at various situations and present themselves with it. They're able to see the reality of it all. They're able to see the killers, the alleged killers of their uncle, nephew, cousin, brother, son, whatever, and granddaughter, grandbaby, little sister or little cousin, something like that. I missed the Dwayne show. What is that? I'm stupid. I don't know what the Dwayne show is. What's the Dwayne show, Wizard? Salute to you, by the way. Thanks for coming in. I missed the Dwayne show. What? Oh, the Dwayne. Oh, wow, I was talking about yesterday. Is that what you're talking about? I don't remember what I was talking about yesterday. To be honest, I'm trying to remember. Oh my God, what was I talking? Dwayne, you gotta give me some more information, Wizard. Tell me about Dwayne. What's Dwayne last name? Because I'm thinking about Dwayne Wade for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking about Dwayne Wade. But you got to give me some more information, Wizard. You missed that show. You missed the Dwayne show. I don't even remember. I just do these things. I crank them out, and I don't even remember them all the time. Did you do one for Roy Ayers? I did not. I did not do a Roy Ayers. I think I just did. Oh, Dwayne Willard. Yeah. Wiggins. Excuse me. Dwayne Wiggins. Thank you. See, that's how my brain works. You had to say another artist's name. And I was like, wait a minute. I just talked about Dwayne Wiggins. Yeah, I said a loud pack. I was doing a loud pack about him. I don't think I did any shows. I think I was off, one time. Yeah, the guy from Tony Tone. Yeah, the guitarist, the record producer. He actually had ties to Destiny's Child. He actually signed them to his label. If you didn't know that, early on in their careers, he signed them to his label. I think it was called Grassroots or something like that. Something grass something. But yeah, he was a real one. He died of bladder cancer. That's really sad. And Roy Ayers, I did not, do a whole thing. I did not do a whole show on Roy Ayers. I think I might have just touched on him and said pause. I might just said something about him and Tyler the Creator, and how everybody knows the Get Money FB's song. Boom, 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 boom. He was behind that, Roy Ayers, and everybody loves the sunshine. Everybody knows the sunshine. That song, and he had various ties to hip hop, and so did Tony Tone. They had Splash Waterfalls with Ludacris. He sampled one of their songs. So, very important figures, and it's like they're done. What am I talking about? All I'm talking about is death. I'm talking about G Money, Lil Ronnie. I'm talking about Roy Ayers. I'm talking about Dwayne Wiggins. It's all death. It's sad. It's really sad that we have to even. I mean, it's different situations, of course. I'm not trying to say that everybody got gun violence or anything. So, like I said, Dwayne Wiggins, Mr. Dwayne Wiggins, he perished because of an illness, because of pathology, because of a disease. And Roy Ayers, I think he just may have died because of old age. He was like 84 years old. I don't know if he had a disease or a sickness or illness, but he just was at advanced age. But again, thanks to capitalism, we can have people who die when they're 84 and 64 and stuff like that. It's sad, the reverse of capitalism, force against G Money, Lil Ronnie. That was the reverse of capitalism. That's the opposite of capitalism. Force, or going against somebody's life. That is evil. That is vicious. So, those are just the different deaths of black people, black men, in music history, and the different impacts that they've had. It's like Roy Ayers, then Dwayne Wiggins, then G Money, Lil Ronnie. That's how it goes. Just based on their output, based on their impact in the music genre. I don't know if G Money, Lil Ronnie will have a place, on the Grammy when they do the memoriam. He may not. I don't know. I want them to. I hope they do, because he obviously had talent. He had skills. Andretti saying that he had skills in the dice game, but I did not receive that notice. Andretti says G Money was moving recklessly. He was told not to go to that car wash and he still went. Sometimes you just gotta say, hey, that's not my turf. That's not for me. That's not for me. It's cute if you want to say, man, F them niggas. Man, them niggas ain't gonna do nothing. And then what happened? No, he's small potatoes, yeah. He's not. He didn't really make that big of an impact. He was more. I don't even know if he was signed. I think he was more of an independent artist. But he was on the grind though. He was on his grind. We only talk about him because them animals took his kid. Yeah, you're on point today, Andretti. I salute you. Salute. That's facts. Because especially that what makes it worse. That what makes it like they could get. It's Texas. We're talking about Texas. We're not talking about my state of Delaware, where there is no capital punishment. They could get the death penalty, real simply. Texas doesn't play around. They ain't about they are about that life, death, the death sentence. They're about that death, and they're about that life for the people prosecuting against it. But they could get the death penalty real quick, without anyone regarding anything they have to think about or say, and the defense saying this and that. Nope. I go back to Ron. God damn, what's his name? Ron White. Ron White said, some states are. I'm paraphrasing, but he said, like, some states are getting rid of the death penalty. My state is putting in an express lane. He's from Texas. That's what it's like. They're like, you don't go to a few years behind bars, Jack. You go straight to the front of the line. Okay, and Andretti says kids and elders along with women are off limits. For the most part, that sounds about right. Kids, yes, because especially completely innocent and have nothing to do with it. Unless they're killer kids. You gotta watch The Wire. You gotta watch Breaking Bad. I mean, they depict real life. I mean, they have certain shows that this happened in real life, like the kids shooting other kids, 8 or 9 years old, holding up the steel and dumping. Women, again, if she's about that killing life, I'm offering her. I don't care if she got a split tail. That's fine. That's cool. But if she's trying to come at me with a knife, I might have to blow her brains out. But that I understand what you're saying, though. I understand that at least sounds like the mafioso law book, or the code of what the Cosa Nostra outlined years before. Yeah, Andrade says, yeah, like that the movie Too Young to Die. I don't think I've ever seen that, but I'll check it out later afterwards. I have to see that. Yeah, Too Young to Die. Yeah. So yeah, G Money, Lil Ronnie, and his daughter gunned down, and now the two suspects are in custody. Russell, he said, you know what, I can't hide, I can't run, I can't do nothing, I can't do this. I got to go into the police. And so he said, I surrender myself. I said, and I know they were like, hallelujah, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Oh, hallelujah. This is Jesus' work. This is the Lord's work. Look at God. Look at God. Oh, my God. And that's cool. I'm against that. But if you want to do that, that's your business. That's all for you. If you want to do all that, it's all for you. It's your business. I have no problem with it. Beyond, my life, on my life. If you want to praise the Lord that there is no Lord, do it. That's your business. And I have no problem with you doing that. I have a problem with me doing that, with myself doing that. But it's I mean, they say the cliche, to each his own. I mean, that's one of the examples of what it means. Let me see. It is very sad that this had to happen, but it's at least the cloud kind of parting and the sun showing the sky's true colors. No pun on my name, but it's a good vintage movie. Okay, I agree. I'll take your word for it, Andretti. Andretti says it's a good vintage movie. Vintage? How old is it? I'll you have a wrench, so I'll look it up. Let me see. Too Young to Die. What is a 1990 thriller with Brad Pitt? Is that the one? And Juliette Lewis? Is that it? The Too Young to Die? Is that what you're talking about? I can get it on Netflix. I can watch this later on today. Too Young to Die. Is that what you're saying? Based on a true story too. Wow. But is that the right one? The Brad Pitt and Juliette Lewis story? That's it. Okay, cool. He said that's it. Okay, so he didn't have to die. He did not have to die. He did not deserve to be gunned down like a dog in the streets. That is the sad part. That is the really, really sad part, because, and his daughter, of course, that's just like that. That could take it to another level. Like him getting gunned down the street, it would have been like 20, 30 years, maybe 40 years. He could have got a life sentence. They could have got life sentences. Now they're probably gonna be looking at the death penalty. I'm serious. They gunned down a innocent, a person, perfectly had nothing to do with nothing. And her father, who allegedly was told not to go around that area, even though you're not told about around that area, he still didn't deserve to be shot and killed. But it's like a warning to a lot of people, just like say, hey, this is not the area. This is not the place. You don't want to go. I mean, if you value your life, either you stay strapped and you're ready in all moments. You're ready to grip up on all at any time. That's when it becomes very serious. Okay, Andretti says, I believe they could see that his kid was in the car. I see, in my mind, I'm thinking like how they're like walking in front of the car wash together, hand in hand, and then like a car just rolls up and starts blasting. Am I wrong, or what happened? Were they in the car and they shot into the car? Were they outside and walking? I didn't read that in my research. I didn't read that part. It was mainly about his the custody of Robinson, Adonis Robinson. That's what I did most of my research on. 24 years of age, and Russell's 21, like crazy. Dolph had a pistol and they still got him. Yep. And I remember that. I remember the documentary. The documentary, he was saying he just seemed like an old soul, and he seemed like he knew what he was talking about. He just seemed like he had a lot of wisdom under him, and that's what really got me. I mean, there was a documentary from like 2017 or something like that, and he was rolling through Memphis with the Mercedes, with the Rari. He had the Rari, and I was like, whoa, this is next level right here. Young Dolph, he's coming through the streets with the Rari going on, like everything's sweet, like everything's good. And then years later, pop, and it's like, it's a shame. He was running away, nowhere near the car. Okay, got you. Andretti said that. Andretti says he was running away, nowhere near the car. I'm telling you, it's very sad. It's very wicked. It's the wickedness of these men, the iniquities, the evil of these men, brought upon by what I started this whole broadcast for: emotions, not reason, not thought, not speaking on terms of as men, just airing your grievances. No, we got to dump the steel. We got to make somebody's mama cry, bury a son and a granddaughter. That's what it is. Andretti saying the Wild Wild West. Certain situations, yes, but it's not as serious. It's not as crazy as the Wild Wild West was very wild. It lives up to its name. Wild Wild West was like, I can make any property my own. I can, the government's gonna say I get a penny per acre or something like that. Build my town up. There's people can get shot in the street. You can get hanged for stealing somebody's horse. Like it was certainly super wild. So I don't think we had those days. So salute to G Money, Lil Ronnie, and his daughter, and I totally understand what the family is going through. I've had people in my family gunned down. I know people that have been gunned down. So it's very serious. All right, so this is a very serious story too, but it's a little bit lighter. It's not as serious, but it has the makings of being serious. I'm gonna play this. Let me see if I can do it. Let me make sure I know what I'm doing. Get a handle on this. Oh my God, where are we at? What the hell? Oh, there it is. Okay. This is a video of a young woman who said she claims that she's completely illiterate. She doesn't know how to read or write, although she graduated from a government school, or what most people would like to call public school. I call government school. But she graduated with honors from a government school just because they passed her along ever since she was in like elementary school. So she's going to college now as almost a complete illiterate. So let me see if I can get this going.
Did you ever think you'd be going to college here?
Can you guys hear this?
Never. Never in a million years.
In some ways, Alicia Ortiz is living an American dream.
And Jody, can you hear
The
it?
19-year-old began her freshman year at the University of Connecticut in Hartford this fall. She's excited to study public policy, the culmination of hard work after moving north from Puerto Rico as a child. Do you remember when you first came to Connecticut?
Yes, I remember I was very nervous, but I know it was going to be better opportunities for me to learn.
But Alicia says those opportunities never came to fruition. Even today, could you read this, or would it take you a long time?
It's impossible. I just see his words everywhere.
Alicia graduated from the Hartford public school system last year, but she says today she is illiterate. She still doesn't know how to read or write. When she was in early education,
they would just either tell me to stay in a corner and sleep, or just draw pictures, flowers for them.
And when she was in high school, she relied on speech-to-text programs and other apps to read and write essays. So if you had an assignment where you had to write something, you'd open up a document like this and then do what?
I would go here to use the text-to-speech.
It says dictate.
Dictate, yep. I love pizza.
This is how you would do your assignments.
And then
Cats of the World VAK sporting a twin-prop airplane.
If you had to read something, that's how you do it. She said her mother, who does not speak English well, tried to get answers.
She advocated so much. She went to the school. The principal will promise her that they will do better. And sometimes there will be people from the district or the directors promising her that they will do better.
Now, Alicia is suing the Hartford Board of Education and the city for negligence. The suit alleges the school district documented and acknowledged Alicia's learning challenges through multiple grades, but because they were not adequately addressed, she continued to struggle academically and began exhibiting maladaptive behaviors in the classroom.
Sometimes I will feel proud to be the bad child because at least I was something to them, and I wasn't invisible.
While the city of Hartford and an educator named in the suit declined to comment when contacted by CNN, in a statement, Hartford Public Schools wrote, "While Hartford Public Schools cannot comment on pending litigation, we remain deeply committed to meeting the full range of needs our students bring with them when they enter our schools and helping them reach their full potential."
What's the dog, man?
Dr. Jesse Turner is the leader of the Literacy Center at Central Connecticut State University. He feels the main issue here is inequality in public education.
America should be asking a question. Do we really care about our children, all of our children? And I would argue that maybe we don't.
A 2019 report from EdBuild, which promotes equity in public schools, found that majority non-white school districts get $23 billion less than districts that serve mostly white students. Minority enrollment in Hartford's public schools is at about 90%.
The Department of Education's a big con job.
Plus, Turner fears a crucial guardrail will be lost if the Trump administration follows through with abolishing the Department of Education.
How do I protect the special education children? Who do I go to if I close it down?
College has presented its own obstacles, but Alicia says UConn has been accommodating, but she doesn't want any other student to go through what she experienced.
I know we can do better, and I know we have a powerful community that want to do better. I want to be the voice for them.
Danny Freeman, CNN, Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay, so you just saw that. Yeah, Andretti says that's crazy. What can I say? It is one of the saddest issues I've seen yet. It's one of the saddest things I've seen in my life, because I'm a champion of privatized schooling. And if you're not, if everybody wants to rush to say, oh, wait a minute, well, if you had private education, then people wouldn't be able to afford it. People wouldn't be able to go to school. Kids wouldn't be able to learn. That's not true. There's a lot of reasons. I'll give you two reasons. Globally, and then I'll get to the United States. Globally, there's a man called James Tooley. He went to places in Africa, India, and Asia, and other parts of East Asia. He surveyed the land. He went across the different places, and he found that there were people getting excellent education for like pennies on the dollar, because it was very cheap. But it was great education. They didn't have school teams and different sports and stuff like that. It was just complete straightforward education. So I think it could be very viable for America to have this. And like I said, I was going to get back to the United States, to America. Marva Collins, the late great Marva Collins, she was an educator. She had a school in Chicago. There was a movie about her played by Cecily Tyson. And she had in her school system, they were reading Shakespeare. The children, the students, were reading Shakespeare in the 4th grade. They were doing algebra in the 4th grade. They were advanced. They were highly educated, very strong personalities. And she had like a 99-something% rate of people going to either the military or into college, doing some kind of trade, some kind of school. Like everybody graduated and went on to do something extraordinary. I must take a pause for the cause. Andretti says, same thing with special education. Yes, I agree with that. Same thing with special education. It needs to all be privatized. I don't agree with Trump. I'm not a Trumpster. I completely disagree with virtually everything he has to say, and I don't think he has the right reason for getting rid of education, the Department of Education. I think the right reason for getting rid of the Department of Education is because the government should have no role in shaping the minds of human beings, of shaping the minds of young people and people, and advanced, a little bit older, even into the college realm. The government should have nothing to do with it. They should only protect the rights of those educators and people that are within the system and the students. That's all they have to do. So I think with this story, which was like Andretti said, that's crazy. It is certainly crazy. I mean, it's insane. She literally had this text. What was it? Speak to text. She was talking to the computer, and she would photocopy different portions of text and stuff like that. I mean, that's what's going on. If that's one person, just think about the thousands or maybe even millions of children that are doing the same goddamn thing that she's doing. That's the sad part. Andretti says, and think that's the number one reason African-American kids go to the streets, because they can't keep up with the school. Exactly. And they don't, and the school doesn't care. That's why she's suing him. She's suing Hartford school system because they didn't give a damn. Oh, it's okay. Just take a nap. It's all right, girl. It's all right, Alicia. Just go ahead and go in the corner and take a nap. You'll be all right. Instead of saying, "Hey, what's the problem? Why don't we work this problem out? We can do this together. We can solve this issue. We can read this book. We can read these paragraphs. You can go paragraph by paragraph, sentence by sentence, word by word, letter by letter. We know they didn't do that. They said, go in the corner and sleep. Just go to sleep. And then just pass her on to the next grade. No child left behind. Head Start. Another George Carlin reference. He said, somebody's losing ground. Who funds the school system? Taking that, exactly. Who funds the school system? The American people fund the school system. Sadly. I think we should be able to be like Marva Collins. What Marva Collins did was revolutionary and is hardly even talked about and swept under the rug, but it should be highlighted. It should be blast on there should be like 12 movies about her, because you just don't get that kind of story from just the random everyday issues that we currently have in this country. Andretti says being an educator is a job you have to really want to, because the pay isn't that great. That's why I'm all about privatizing. If we privatize these schools, I think there'll be like engineers that work at Google, Alphabet or Meta or Apple or Netflix and stuff like that. They get paid hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions. And the people, that the heads of the companies that should be the schools, they'll be billionaires. Tim Cook is a billionaire. He's the head of Apple. He's a billionaire. Larry Ellison, even the evil, quote unquote, Elon Musk. I don't think he's evil. I just think he's very confused. He's very muddled. He's very mixed. So an educator, but today I know exactly what you're talking about. You're telling the truth. Today it's very low pay, and they have to. Like, if you watch the show Abbott Elementary, they just showed another example of how these teachers are underpaid, overworked, they're overqualified. They have to do side jobs. They have to do side gigs just to make ends meet and to have some kind of semblance of support financially. So it's really sad. It's a sad situation. And I was just looking at this. I'm like, damn, this woman she's not even. What is she, like 17, 18 years old? I'm imagining she's 18 years old because she's going to college. So she has to be at least 18 years old. Andretti says Elon throwing it all away. Yeah, I agree. He is throwing it all away. He has a mind. He has he's a brilliant guy, but he's mixed. He doesn't know what other ideas are good for him. And it's cute when he has Ayn Rand quotes and stuff like that. That's cute. But it doesn't really matter if you're not going to live up to her principles. That's the whole thing with me and with Elon Musk and myself. So I think we have to look up Marva Collins as quickly as you can. Make sure you get her what her background is. Prince even had her in a video, the most beautiful girl in the world. If you ever remember that, she was in the video. But she died some time ago. I can't remember what year. It was like in the mid 20-teens, I think, something like that. But she was definitely a radical. She was a radical for capitalism. Really, she was a radical for capitalism. She may not have espoused it. She may not have talked about it that way. But she was a radical for capitalism, because what we have now is a system that is completely broken, completely in shambles. I mean, if I had to tie it back, to G Money Lil Ronnie, would G Money Lil Ronnie still be around if everybody involved had an education, a proper education? Would they still be would these young men, 21 and 24, be going behind bars and possibly to the death row? Would that be happening? That's what I want to know. We can't figure it out now, but that's the sad part of it. That's what's really a really sad, slice of it. It's really sad. But yeah. So Marva Collins. That's James Tooley and Marva Collins. Just thinking those two names. James Tooley had a book called The Beautiful Tree. I read that book and I was like fascinated. I was like, this is just like it was pissing me off at the same time because I'm like, why isn't this happening in America? Why is this only happening in certain remote parts of Asia and Africa? Why is this happening? What is this What is this whole ideal happening, across the globe and not happening in the United States? It's a sad shame because I remember my sister had a teacher said, I get paid either way, She was like, I get paid either way. I say that sometimes to be funny, but she was serious. She was like, I get paid either way. Because it's true. She does get a paycheck. She did get deposits. But you're not teaching the kids. You're just passing them along into society, and they don't know how to read or write. They don't know their left hand from their right hand. They can't think for themselves. They can't think critically. I wonder what she did on tests. What did she do on tests? What did she do in the classroom? You had to fill in the bubbles, for the different testing. And what did she get on that? Did it not matter? They just gave her a grade and said, "Okay, it's great. Oh, that's wonderful." What did she do? Remember when we had to recite poems and recite lines from Shakespeare? You remember that? I still remember mine. The Scottish play, Act 5, Scene 5. Sitting up in that castle. Tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player who struts and frets his arrow upon the stage and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. See, I still got that. What did she do? I had to memorize it. I had to read that over and over and over and over again for me to memorize it, to have it embedded in my consciousness. And it's still there, going on 20 years now, 20 plus years, actually. Because that was 2004 when I had to recite that. Well, no. It was 2005. Excuse me. It was 20 years ago. It's 2005. I don't get it. She graduated with honors. Like, that's how serious this whole situation is. And I think what, I smoke. Andretti says I smoke my lessons away. That's what we were talking about yesterday. We were talking about Wiz Khalifa, with the Clouds remix. He's known for smoking a lot of, But yeah, so I just remembered it. It's embedded in me. I will never forget it as long as I live, unless I have Alzheimer's. I'm not calling that for myself. I'm just saying, just in case I do, it's probably going to go away. But it's serious. It's serious. But yeah, this whole topic is sad, and I had to tie it back to G Money, Lil Ronnie, because if they were educated, if all three of them, and more people, more kids were actually educated, had a semblance of ideas, had and became honorable jobs, bus drivers, janitors, teachers, anybody that make up the fabric of our society. They may be, they may not be looked on, or they may be like fawned over, but it's like, I mean, what can we do? I mean, that's the kind of attitude that is expressed towards teachers. It's like, oh yes, teachers are great, wonderful teachers. It's like, what do we do for them? I don't know, maybe pay them more. But how do we pay them more? That's more tax money. Well, that's why it needs to be privatized. The exact reason why it needs to be privatized. A private education. I could kind of see a lottery system. I can kind of see a system where people band together and promote and support and raise funds for school teachers and school administrators and educators and everything like that, all the way down to the janitor. I heard somewhere, I can't remember exactly, so I can't, tell you to go to this site or anything. But I heard somewhere that, the landscapers and the janitors at Microsoft were making millions of dollars a year. I could have got that wrong. I could be wrong on that, but I remember hearing that, a few years ago. So I mean, the same thing can happen with educators. If there's a Microsoft school or an Apple school, that would be really awesome. I think that would be really awesome because we don't have that. We don't have that in our psyche. We don't have that in our minds to have that. We're not ready. We're not ready in our thoughts yet. We have to be primed. We need to push more ideas of reason, individualism, and capitalism. That's the whole idea that needs to happen. That's what that RIC in America stands for: reason, individualism, and capitalism. Because I believe that children are our future. No, I'm not going to sing for you, but it's true. Teach them well and let them lead the way. They didn't teach Alicia well. They didn't teach her well, so she's suing. I would sue too. She's illiterate. That's their job. They failed at their job. I mean, she may not get the court case may not be in her favor. She may lose, but at least she's fighting. She's fighting because it's like they didn't teach her. Andretti says she better win. Yeah, exactly. I say she should win. I could be wrong, but I think Andretti and I think she better win because I mean they they mistreat. That's almost like neglect. That's almost like child harm, not physical but psychological and mental harm done to children who don't, who make the grade, but they don't know what they're making the grade for. She's talking into the computer. She doesn't know how to write. Yeah, she's Hispanic. Yeah, Andretti saying, "Was she Hispanic?" Yeah, she is Hispanic. And that's another thing they were talking about. They're saying how I can't remember the figure. Or I can't remember what they said exactly about the figures, but they said like 90% of Hispanic and Black and minority students don't get the attention they need or something like that. I could be wrong. I could have muddled that up, but please correct me if I am. Sky, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So she is Hispanic. She's going to college. She's going to UConn. So just figure that out. And the story's out, so it's not even. They're gonna be like, "Did you use AI on this? Was this AI?" That's gonna be like the question that is gonna be asked of her every time. Like, did you use artificial intelligence? What happened here, Alicia? What happened here, Alicia? What's going on? And then she'll be working at Popeyes, missing orders, dropping biscuits. Picking them up, dusting them off, and putting them back in the bag. Salute, Black Cuddy. I salute you, sir. I was on some other type stuff because I wanted to test and see if the live chat would be different, and it's totally better to have the live chat than to not have it. But I'm in an experimental state. No, they be at McDonald's. Yeah, well, they be at the Hispanics be at Popeyes too. And they be saying, "What? K? Into the machine." I said I wanted a 3-piece with a biscuit and some beans. K. But that is true too, though. They do be at McDonald's, and they'll drop your McGriddle on the floor. The patty will slide out. Then they have to put the top back on. Like nothing happened. So she's getting a college education. She's getting a college education, Alicia. If you just now joined us, Black Cuddy, we're talking about this young lady named Alicia. She basically just slid through all the grades from elementary school all the way to high school, graduated with honors, and is now going to UConn, as an illiterate, as a complete illiterate, doesn't know how to read or write. Andretti says, and they give you a 2-piece with mashed potatoes. That's right. That's right. A 2-piece with mashed potatoes, yo. And the mashed potatoes are not mashed potatoes. We all know that. They're the powdered with the water. They put powder in water. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up. Let me look that up. I'm gonna look it up right now. Let me see. I believe she's 18, though. I think she is 18. I don't think she's a minor. Yeah, okay. Alicia Ortiz. There we go. 19 years old and dreams of writing short stories someday. Damn. That's what I do every day. It may seem like a reasonable aspiration, but for Alicia, this path will be much more difficult. Alicia Ortiz graduated with top marks and is now attending the University of Connecticut on a scholarship. But Ortiz is facing serious charges against her. But Ortiz is facing serious charges against her former school, a public or government. It says public, but I like to say government high school in her hometown of Hartford, Connecticut. This was reported by the American TV channel CNN, which was also met with Alicia Ortiz. After 12 years of attending public schools in Hartford, Alicia testified at a city council meeting in May 2024 that she could not read nor write. That is what I'm saying. That is the sadness. That is what's disgusting. Where are my short stories? Let me see. I think I can put it in. Let me see. I have one short story that I can definitely share. Okay, here's one of my short stories. I want you to send this to everybody. I don't know if that link is live. You might be able to, if you can't click on it, just copy and paste it. That's my latest opus, my latest work. So I think it is. It's a sad situation. It's our whole school system. The system's broken. The school's open. The school's closed. The prison's open. Got it. Okay, cool. Make sure you save that and send it to everybody you know. I appreciate that, Andretti. If not, that's cool. If you don't like it, you don't have to read it anymore. But I love it. So I appreciate you and anyone else who reads it. So, but Alicia, oh my God, 19 years old. She's cute. She's cute looking. Little Hispanic chick, but she can't read or write. If I took her out to eat somewhere, she'd just be looking at the menu like text, text to you translate text, it'll be like I have to put the text in, she has to put it on her phone and then read off what the menu states, That's sad. That really is sad. That really is sad. So, but I got to get into my what happened with Alicia is no different than what happens with Keisha. Yeah, happens to Keisha. Happens to Jimmy Chan. Happens to. I mean, they always say yellow people know more than everybody. They're so good at math. Not every single yellow person knows math. Not every single person that has that huge. Same thing with speeding water, on the reservation, on the res. He may not know how to do his numbers. He may not know how to write, do his figures. Hell, I didn't know how to do my figures. I got passed through and graduated. I had to take remedial courses. But it's true. I had to take remedial courses. So that wasn't my bag. I was just like, man, I respect math, but I can't do it. I don't know. So, but you got to read when you go to certain restaurants because there's no pictures. Exactly. When you don't have pictures, and they don't even have the prices sometimes. Sometimes some places don't even have prices. That's when you're serious. When you just have the food and no price next to it, that's when you know you're in a serious situation. Because they're just saying, you got the money, you don't have to look at the price. You just look at whatever food there is. But hey, I hope y'all check out my story. I put it in the live chat. Make sure you go to LifeStrongApparel.com. Put on for the LifeStrong sea moss, the raw sea moss, the purple sea moss, the sea moss gel, and the snapbacks. Make sure you go to the checkout and put in Skyler, SKYLER20, Skyler 20, and you get 20% off all your purchases. So definitely check him out. Check that site out. And I will see you sometime, probably tomorrow, with my church gear on. I appreciate it. Salute to you, Andretti. Salute to Black Cuddy. Salute to Wizard. And I'm gone.